All right. How thinking brushing my teeth is annoying changed my game forever. Uh how did that change that? So um this morning I got a fly walking around. This morning I got up and I've added the new thing into my routine. It was I wake up, I drink my quart of water, and then I immediately brush my teeth. So I habit stack, right? I take and I brush my teeth immediately upon after I drink my quart of water, which is after I wake up at 3:14. But I'm switching that to 4 in the morning just because of some pivots I'm making. So I have for years and years and years not taken care of my teeth as much as I should, right? I have a flipper tooth. I have a flipper tooth because they had to do um, a bone graft in my teeth here in my gums because I wasn't taking care of my teeth. I used to have a tongue ring, didn't take care of my teeth, and so I am reaping the results and reaping the consequences of who I was being in my teeth brushing game. Right. So I have pockets around the back of my teeth, and I don't want to do what they call osseous surgery. Osseous surgery is where they go in and they basically sew up the pockets around their teeth so that they are tighter. And I don't want it. I don't want that as part of my game. It's going to be expensive, one, and it's going to hurt. And I'm not really interested in doing that. So woke up this morning and said, all right, I got to go brush my teeth because I'm on like day probably 15 of doing my toothbrush immediately after my quart of water. And I'm thinking, man, this is annoying. Like, this is really annoying for me to have to do this. And then as I'm brushing my teeth, I'm like, man, how many habits am I trying to do right now? How many habits am I trying to add or improve? Or how many little different things am I trying to put into my life right now to improve things? Granted, it was like 3:25 in the morning. And so I couldn't think of all of them. And that was a giant red flag for me because if I am going through and I'm supposed to be doing all these things where I'm tracking and making sure that I'm doing this and this and this and all these routines, if it's so many that I can't keep track of it, that means I'm probably not doing a good job of tracking it. So I'm tracking my food. I'm tracking my water. I drink a gallon every day. I do my toothbrushing twice. I'm supposed to be training once a day. I've got my morning routine, which is pretty extensive. I've got outreaches that I'm making to try and launch this coaching business. I've got event here and coursework here and book and book and book. I have a lot. And as I'm sitting there thinking about it, this giant red flag came up of like, am I overstretched? Am I overly, am I trying to do too many things? Am I trying to give too many fucks? Because if I'm trying to do too much and I'm trying to go over, I'm trying to overstretch myself and overcommit myself, it's very likely that instead of getting part of some of them done, I'm going to get a little of all of them and all of none of them. Now, I have been going through some financial learnings on my own. See, I also have been spending money a lot. I've spent a lot of money on my own personal development over the past 3 years. And what that has done is because I got the money from a place where I needed to pay taxes and I have not caught up on it, I'm finding myself in a bind, right? And I realized that the way that I have been spending my money, where I say, I want to go try this personal development course, and I buy it, and then I don't actually do a lot with it. Or I'll come over here and I'll do this thing over here, and then I'll get involved, but I'm not all the way committed, and then I don't actually get the results. And then I try this thing here, and I got spread too thin, again, overcommitted. And I realized that the way that I've been spending my money, which isn't working for me, we're currently going through learning how to do that differently. The way that I've been spending my money is exactly the way that I have been spending some of my time as a resource. And so this is where this thought this morning of brushing my teeth is annoying has completely changed my game. Because now that I'm aware I'm aware of the idea and I'm aware of the fact that I cannot continue to spend my time as a resource just throwing it haphazardly here and there, right? If I've only got so many fucks to give, then I shouldn't give them just haphazardly. I need to be more attentive and more intentional and more focused about how I am spending my time. Now, time is an interesting resource. Time is our most valuable resource. We only have so much of it on the planet. Nobody really knows exactly how long, but we have X amount of time on the planet. And while we're here, every one of us has the same 24 hours in a day. Elon Musk, 24 hours in a day. Me, 24 hours in a day. What's the difference between Elon's results and my results? Some of it is he just works harder. Some of it is he's built enough that he can now work harder than he's built the capital and built the systems that let him duplicate himself and delegate to where he gets to focus on what he is magical at. I'm clearly not there yet. But the idea that time is our most valuable resource because we can't get it back. We can't get it back. But also, the 24 hours we have in a day, we can budget it any way we want to. We are completely in charge. We get to choose how we spend that time. Now, this doesn't necessarily work for people who are highly regimented outside of their control. So if you are in a military encampment and you are subject to waking up and going when they say go, yeah, that's a big deal. If you're in a prison, then yeah, you might not have all the control over time that you'd like. But for the rest of the 99.9% of us, the hours that we spend during our day are completely of our choice. Is there an hour in there where I spend time with my kids? Absolutely. By choice. I could totally try to be like, hey, dear, that's your job. It wouldn't go over very well. But I could try. I could choose that. My wife is sending me a text right now. So the idea is there are little things that happen that are enlightening, that can open up your eyes to things that you would not have known before. This morning I was brushing my teeth and this idea of, holy crap, I'm spread way too thin. And I really need to be inspecting where I'm spending all my time. If I'm doing 8 different habits that I'm trying to track and I'm not actually tracking them, then I'm not actually doing 8 habits. And I have this energetic loss, this energetic drain from what I say I want to be doing. So how am I going to resolve this? I'm going to be making an audit. I'm going to be making a habit audit of how many things I'm trying to do at one time. And then I'm going to check and I'm make sure that everything that I say I'm going to be trying to do is focused on the very specific the target that I set for myself for the year. Every year in the end of the year, I build myself an impossible target for where I want to go throughout the next year. This year, I'm on point for a lot of them. I'm also off for a few of them. I still have time. I can still make it, but it's going to take a lot of work. And so any action that I'm not taking that's moving me directly in the relevant direction, in the focused direction towards what I said I wanted to do for the year, I can't do. I mean, I could, but it's going to take me away from here. It's going to take whatever that's going to send me towards and make it more important than what I said I wanted to do. So I can't do that. That's where I'm at. So my question for you, where are you spending your time as a resource? And you know that the time you're putting in there isn't moving you in the direction that you want to go. So if I say that I want to go move in the direction of marketing and pushing out and outreach and building this business, but I jump on my phone and I scroll through Instagram for 35 minutes looking at reels, that's not going to give me what I want. If my goal is to do this outreach on marketing, but I say, okay, every day I'm going to wake up and I'm going to go read a book on taxes. Could taxes get me what I want? Yeah, there's probably a part of it, but is that moving me in the direction of marketing so I can get cash into my business so that I can not worry about taxes? No. there's been a lot of social media and a lot of content coming at me, and you're conscious, your ego hits and it just picks up on things. It's important to say no. It's important to say no. That's not going to move me in the direction I want to go. No, that's not going to get me what I want. And sometimes the most important person to say that to, you, the one in the mirror. Sometimes the one who needs to be heard and needs to hear no is the person you stare at in the mirror. That's all I got. Where in your life are you not taking care of the things that you said you wanted to do, but putting your focus and proper attention towards it? That's it. Have a wonderful night.